Yup, it's time. The team that made by far the biggest move of the offseason, we have the New York Jets 2023 roster grade. This should be fun. I mean, maybe Mike Greenberg will care. I mean, he's probably like the most delusional Jets fan ever. But either way, guys, here we go. Jets 2023 roster grades. It's a big one. Here we go. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoy the New York Jets 2023 roster grades. This should be a really fun video. Of course, they're getting hyped up a lot by a lot of people, and deservedly so. They got freaking Aaron Rodgers. Yep, that's what we'll start off with. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers in this quarterback room. Outside of that, though, I mean, this is a pretty good roster. They lost, what was it, their last 6 games, I think? Yeah, not the greatest end of the season. Of course, the Zach Wilson disaster. We'll get into that, too, right now. Oh yeah, FYI, Jonathan Taylor is now available. So yeah, that's interesting. I'll see what happens with that, and I'll get back to you when a trade happens. Yeah, that's basically that's very interesting. Obviously, really low running back value at this point. I'm gonna probably say he goes for like a 4th round pick or something like that, because the Colts just what is it called? Who the heck is their GM? I literally just blanked on him. Chris Ballard, my bad. I literally blanked on Chris Ballard. He screws this up. I mean, that would be hilarious. And also, again, they're going to have to, whatever team trades for Jonathan Taylor, probably will have to pay him a decent amount of money, because there's really no other way to, it's basically a rental, and, like, the season hasn't even started yet. Either way, though, yes, back into it with this Jets roster, of course, with the quarterback position. Okay, Tim Boyle, of course, coming over from the, did he play with the Lions last year? He put it with the Bears. He was pretty horrible, like awful in the one game. I guess he started. Again, 2021, like he started I think 3 games. It was week 11, 16, and 17. He was pretty bad. I mean, he at least threw for some yards, but like he still screwed up. Yeah, Tim Boyle, just no. He's not the best backup, but again, he was a good backup for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers trusted him a lot, and again, they had Nathaniel Hackett, so like that's what I guess. Zach Wilson was, yeah, he's a bust. He was the worst, if not the worst quarterback, the 2nd worst quarterback in the league. Yes, the one thing he did was complete some downfield passes and make some crazy throws on the run, but outside of that, I mean, Zach Wilson just freaking sucks, and wasn't great as a rookie either. So that's what you got. So like, yeah, Zach Wilson's not the greatest starter. What do they do? Bring in Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Of course, Aaron Rodgers' past 3 seasons has choked in the final game of the Packers season. Of course, 2020 didn't make that throw that he could have had the balls to make, but against Aaron Rodgers. 2021 sold against the 49ers, and then last year threw basically a career high in interceptions with 12, which if you look at it, like the past 4 seasons, you'd be shocked by it, because he threw, what was that, 7? He threw 15 interceptions in 4 seasons, and he threw 12 in 2022, which is crazy. So, yes, it was a down year. Was it a crazy down year? No. He wasn't great by any means at all. Like I wouldn't say he was bad. Aaron Rodgers wasn't great. I mean, he still made a couple big throws. He just basically turned over the football a lot. He had bad receivers. Yeah, it wasn't a great season. And he also tried to make throws that just, no. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers for sure didn't throw over the middle. There was a lot of stuff going on. This season, he's definitely going to have to do that better. His footwork, which sounds crazy for Aaron Rodgers, also got a little shaky at times, which I don't know how it did, but it did, because, again, the offensive line wasn't the greatest at times. And then, again, the receivers weren't getting open, and this offensive line is much better. Either way, that's all good for the quarterback position. Let's get right into the roster grade. All right, a quarterback for the Packers, I'll give it an A-. Aaron Rodgers is probably a top 5 quarterback, but here's the problem. He's old, and, I'll give it an A. It's not an A+, but I'll give it an A, because I do think he's a top 5 quarterback. Because when you think about it, Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, I actually had him as my #1 quarterback going into last season, which might sound insane looking back at it, but he was 1 or 2. Like, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow literally don't have an excuse. I mean, outside of like, oh, we didn't win in the playoff game. But Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in the league in 2021. Like, there's no doubt about it. And then last year, yes, he wasn't great. Again, didn't have a great season. But then again, he was, out of all top 10 quarterbacks, he had the worst roster to work with. I mean, yes, running backs, but Matt LaFleur did not know what to do. And now with Nathaniel Hackett back as his offensive coordinator, who he's best buddies with, and yeah, Nathaniel Hackett needs, it's pretty simple. Like, yeah, I gotta give him an A. It's just the pedigree and stuff. I get he's not gonna perform well in the playoffs. I really don't care at times, but it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's the most talented quarterback ever. 55 total points. And yeah, Zach Wilson isn't the greatest backup, but I'm not hating on Aaron Rodgers. Again, you could say the same thing back in 2019. What happened? You got burned by it because you went back-to-back MVPs. Like, no one. There's only been one other guy to win four post MVPs. That is, of course, Peyton Manning. Aaron Rodgers is the only other dude to do that. So I'm just saying, he's the most talented quarterback ever. Like, I can't ignore that. Like, I gotta give him the A. Again, I definitely would give him an A- if my gut didn't say A. So that's what I got. Time for the running backs. All right, we look at this running back room, and it is a deep group for sure. Of course, Israel Abanikanda, who isn't even on this list, probably is their third most intriguing running back for sure. First off, of course, Breece Hall. He is the best running back on the team. Not the best. He has the highest potential on this team by far by any of these running backs. The only issue we're going to see towards ACL, and the Jets can afford to take it slow with him. They'll give him some light touches, probably like 10 to 15 the first couple of weeks. And then they maybe ramp it up to like 15 to 20. And then they'll like really ramp it up if you can get to like full volume. So yeah, Breece Hall is the #1 running back on this team for sure. But then again, it's kind of like with the Alvin Kamara type of thing, kind of, I guess. But yeah, they're gonna take a slow with him, which is good. They have patience. Dalvin Cook, of course, the guy they signed. I still don't think he's a top 10 running back. Just last season, he didn't break any tackles. He didn't create a ton of yards. He really relied on his running. His offensive line to create holes outside the tackles, and inside the tackles, his vision wasn't crazy. Still a pretty decent receiver, though, even though the numbers don't look crazy. He's a good receiver. His route running has actually improved, in my opinion. But again, the tackle breaking, the overall talent isn't there. He's still breaking away for plays, but like he's just not as consistent as he used to be. And again, his vision actually, like, it's I don't want to say concerning, but it isn't great. But yeah, Dalvin Cook, again, I don't think he'll be great this season because of this offensive line not being the most like experienced, and the fact that their tackles aren't the best run blocking guys by any means. Michael Carter, the other back, of course, he was their #1 back in 2021. He was decent, I think. I don't think it was crazy, but last season he definitely struggled as a lighter back. He got just absolutely just demolished when they got to penetrated to him. His receiving ability was definitely still there. He did drop that one touchdown though. Michael Carter, I think, is a decent gadget third down type of dude to have, but he doesn't break too many tackles, and he's just not going to create a ton for you. Zonovan Knight's definitely probably going to be their power back. I could see him on the goal line a little bit. Last season he wasn't great, but he did show a little bit of promise towards the end of the season. He was probably, honestly, outside of probably Garrett. No, he was the best offensive player in the last 3 weeks. But yeah. With that, Zonovan Knight is probably not going to give any carries on this team, but I wouldn't be mad if he got some, because again, he does break tackles, he does find holes, and all that, though, he is a decent pass protector, which is a big deal with that. So, yeah, they basically got 5 running backs, 2 that are definitely better than the rest, but the backups aren't bad either. I'll give this running back room an A-. It's really deep. Israel Abanikanda is probably at worst a good third string running back. So like they got 5 freaking running backs. I don't know what to say. Like they're not gonna carry that many, but yeah, this is a really deep running back room. I don't even know. You can go with any of them. The reason I'm not giving them what is called a B+ is because straight up, if Dalvin Cook gets back to his form, which I mean could happen. He's probably like an A-tier running back. Not only that though, but Breece Hall definitely can be that for sure once he gets the full load. And then again, like Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight, Israel Abanikanda can relieve the back, so that's why I have to give him this. Again, they might not have an A-tier running back on the roster, but they have 5 guys that I really do think are serviceable enough to get to really get this running back room into the A-tier as a whole. So yeah, the committee I think is going to really be an effective strategy and really going to help out this offensive line because they're going to have fresh legs in there every single time, which I think is really cool. So comes out to 9, 18, 27, 30 points for that running back committee. Time for the wide receiver core. And looking at these wide receivers, of course, getting rid of Denzel Mims, this receiving core is a little thinner, but not really. Garrett Wilson, of course, he's the breakout candidate of the year for sure. Last season, had 83 receptions, only 4 touchdowns, yes, and over 1,100 yards. I think Garrett Wilson will hit 1,500 receiving yards this season and at least 10 touchdowns, which it's a very high mark for him, but I think he'll be really great. The only issue I have with him is I do think he's going to have some huge games, like monster games, because there are going to be times where he just gets straight up shut down. Like, they're not going to let him catch the ball. And the thing with Garrett Wilson, I don't want to say the problem, but like I think he's just going to have to live with in his career. If he has to be pressed consistently against the #1 corner with double teams, he's just not going to get targets or catches because it's going to just be a lose-lose. Either it's going to be an incompletion. I'm going to be honest, Garrett Wilson, when he gets doubled, just isn't the same player, which I mean a lot of guys aren't. But like specifically with him, his route running is again crisp. but the speed, it's great, but it's not elite where he can afford to, I don't know, maybe like miss a step or something. Separation, very good. Again, Garrett Wilson's a really, I think he's very, very talented. His ceiling isn't as high as people, I think people are going to, people think it's going to be really high, like the NFL media, but I don't think it's that high. When you want, again, he just struggles against man press with the safety help. It's just, he didn't make any plays on that last year. The yak is definitely there, though, so maybe they can throw him some screens. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, he's going to have some monster games. He's going to hit those 1,500 yards, which I think he can. But he's just not, I don't know. It's that double team that he really needs to work on getting better at, and his release package is a little flat. It's just not diverse at all. Okay, Alan Lazard, who's probably honestly gonna be, I would say Rodgers go to, but he's definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if he had the most receptions on the team, maybe. Of course, last year in the 15 games with the Packers, he was their #1 receiver. He caught 6 touchdowns. Wasn't as I wouldn't say he was great. He was kind of like their deep threat a little bit. He doesn't create too much separation, but he's got good hands. He can go up and get the ball when he needs to, and he also is really good at tracking deep balls. So yeah, Alan Lazard, I wouldn't say he's the best #2 to have, but he's not bad. Corey Davis, perfect #3 in the league. He's had back-to-back pretty decent years with the Jets as a guy who's gotten limited targets. Of course, he is just a straight-up deep threat at this point in his career. Of course, 2020 he really broke out. But he's never been a big touchdown dude. His route running is just not there. It's never been in his career. He definitely relies on good releases and, of course, physicality to really make plays. But yeah, Corey Davis, he's a decent dude to have. Definitely not reliable, but he's a guy, again, boom or bust play, which is a good thing to have for your offense, which might sound a little weird. But, again, these other guys are reliable. McCole Hardman Jr., if he can become a better route runner, just become more of a pure receiver, he'll be fine because his speed and his acceleration are just off the charts. Randall Cobb, good vet. He'll make some plays once in a while. I mean, he was good with the Packers last season. Definitely not as good as he was in the past, but again, good vet to have on the team. He's not definitely a lot slower than he used to be, but he can probably move the chains a couple times. Jason Brownlee, of course, the UDFA out of Southern Miss. He's actually pretty decent in preseason. I definitely expect him to get some targets, maybe not a ton, but yeah, some. And then looking at the rest of the receiving core, I mean, these other guys kind of bumps. Malik Taylor, he had that one play against who that was, Hall of Fame game he made a play, but I don't think he's make the roster. And of course, Alex Harrison, who is he? Yeah, he a former returner. He probably won't make the team either. They got a lot of receivers in the roster right now. So yeah, they've got 6 dudes who I think will be impactful, but really only 5 that are notable. And after that long spiel, I'll give this receiving core a B. Yeah, I'll give it a B plus. I think. Yeah, I'll give it a B plus because I don't know. Do I give it a B plus? Honestly, I will because Corey Davis is a below average #2, but he's a really good #3. Alan Lazard is he's not a great, I won't say he's below average. He's better than Corey Davis as a #2. And Garrett Wilson's a #1. The depth is not great. Do I give it a B? I'll give it a B for now because really when you think about it, outside of Garrett Wilson, this receiving core isn't much different than the Pack receiving core last year. I mean, it's obviously better, but I don't think this receiving core is as good as people would think it would be. It's definitely a good group. And again, if Garrett Wilson blows up like I think he can and start to beat double teams better, especially when he's pressed, I think this receiving core can hit A tier. But right now, it's just the fact that Garrett Wilson's coming off, again, a really solid Offensive Rookie of the Year season, but he definitely has some other stuff to do. And again, the rest of this receiving core just isn't that amazing. It's good, just not that amazing. That's why I gotta give him the B. I think maybe it's a little snub, but I gotta give him that. 9-18. That comes up to about 24 points. Let's look at these tight ends. Alright, this tight end room is not the most fun. I'll just put it like that. Tyler Conklin, he's the most average tight end I've ever seen. Again, he's been actually pretty serviceable as a receiver last year with the Jets. And again, 2021, he was actually pretty darn good. But I mean, he makes catches, he breaks tackles, his route running is nothing special, he's a decent blocker, I don't know. He's a decent tight end, that's kind of about it. CJ Uzomah, really just a big play tight end. Again, he'll have one big game a season. Of course, 2021 was probably his best season. But again, he tore his ACL in 2020, where he was actually lighting it up. 2021, again, kind of like a backup, was weird with him. 2022, as a backup tight end, he was actually pretty solid. He's definitely probably the most explosive tight end, but again, his blocking's never been great. It's not very terrible, but it's just never been great, and he does struggle to get open at times. Tyler Conklin is kind of like that check down merchant, but it doesn't really matter right now because he's their #1 tight end. Jeremy Rocker is a weird guy at Ohio State. He didn't really do a lot in preseason. I do think he'll make the roster, but maybe not. Kenny Yeboah is he had that one big play. I forgot what, yeah. It was in Yeah, he had one big catch. I think it was against like the Jaguars or something. But outside of that, like I never seen him play. Yeah, I'll give this tight end room a C. You know what? Now that I think about it, I'll give it a C plus because Tyler Conklin's a decent tight end. C.J. Uzomah was a decent backup. I mean, the depth after that's pretty meh. But I do think this tight end room is like it's better than like I think I get the Cowboys like a C minus. They're a lot better than that, so I'll give them a C plus. Like the tight end room for the Jets is it's a little bit above average. Like it's not. You'd think it would just be average, but when, like really looking at it, it's actually a pretty decent group. So that comes out to 12 points for that tight end room. Let's look at the offensive line. Of course, there's trade talks about what is it called? David Bakhtiari coming here. I hope that doesn't happen because not gonna lie, yeah, this offensive line does have some concerns, but it's okay for now, I guess. Billy Turner right now is slated to start at left tackle. Honestly, he's not the best backup to have. Like he's not even, let alone a starter, but. When he played with the Packers, he was below average, and that's the best he's ever been. So, yeah. His pass protection is definitely a lot better than his run blocking. He really struggles to set the edge and get his his left arm around the edge rushers, especially when he has to move the second level and be a lead blocker. Billy Turner's just not that dude. He could probably hold the guy off and stand there, but running backs have to create a lot of space themselves when running to that left side, which they're going to want to do off play action. Mekhi Becton, how do I put this nicely? He's fat. Yeah, no. Like, he's been awful in preseason. Like, I don't even want to see him. Okay. Laken Tomlinson, he's a pretty good guard. Again, not the greatest pass protector, but he is a big impactor in the run game. When he's a lead blocker. Not when he's played straight up. Because, again, he's a decent blocker overall, but he's just not that right now. Greg Sandin also could play a little bit, but that's about it. Like, just a little bit. Wes Schweitzer, backup at this point in his career. He just didn't do a ton with Washington last year. That really made me like, oh, wow. And he did struggle a little bit. So, yeah, Wes Schweitzer definitely could bounce back for sure, but he's not a bad backup to have at all. Connor McGovern, average center. Yeah. Joe Tippmann probably will replace him at some point this season if he can continue the trajectory. He can't. He did. Again, he did have a knee injury, though. I don't know. I wonder if Torres got really hurt. But, yeah, Joe Tippmann looked really good in preseason so far. Elijah Vera Tucker, of course, coming off. I don't even know. He screwed something up in Week 7 against the Broncos. And he was on track to be in a pretty good tackle. Of course, rookie season had some ups and downs, but overall it was a pretty decent year. And I do expect him to come back to himself because he's actually bounced back pretty well. Max Mitchell backup, but he's starting because, again, they don't really have any tackles. Dwayne Brown is like 80. Yeah. So he's coming back, but, again, he's freaking 37. Last year he was below average. I expect him to be horrible this year. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been average since like 2020. Dwayne Brown, sure, like again, I'm happy he's still in the league and he's playing, but like just no. And the rest, like, I mean, Carter Warren might make this roster, but he's just no, he will make this roster. What am I saying? I was thinking about someone else, but yeah, Carter Warren. He's just mad at Pitt. He was okay, but like he never really showed me much to be like, yeah, he could be a good player in the NFL. And probably going to be a decent backup, but yeah, this offensive line is not that great. Aside we got some starters, and the tackles are horrible. They do have depth, though, which I think is good. I'll give it a C minus. Just the fact that they have two backup tackles starting is just not advantageous, and the depth is good. The interior is absolutely fine, though, so I wonder if I'll just give them a C. I'll just straight up give them a C, because, again, the running back core, not the running back core. The depth is good. They just don't have any tackles. I mean, yeah, Billy Turner, honestly, I expect to be, like, getting below average, but he'll be able to, like, hold the fort down at least. And, Max Mitchell, probably not, but then again, I don't even know. Do I give him a C minus? I give him a C minus. The tackles are so important. The interior is fine. It's just the tackles are so awful. I don't even know. I'm contemplating so hard. Didn't I, like, snub their wide receiver core, though? I gotta keep it a C minus. Like, I know people think it's like this tier, and some people think it's like C, which is fine. I think they're C tier, but I have to give a C minus just the fact they don't have any tackles and they've been looked bad. So again, that probably doesn't matter, but whatever. Comes out to about 8 points. Let's look at this overall offensive grade. And this offense comes right in at a B plus, which I think is right where they belong because they're gonna score points, but they're not going to be as good as their defense. I mean, like, offensively, again, getting the hand tackle will make it good. The reason, but just straight up true talent, the offensive line just isn't very good. Tight end core is, like, it's solid. Wide receiver core isn't as good as people might think it would be. The running backs, again, it's just a little bit of a, I won't say mess, but a little bit of a mystery. You got Aaron Rodgers. Again, he'll choke in the playoffs. In the regular season, he should be fine. Just with all that in mind, though, I just think this offensive line perfectly fits into B+ because there's potential. They're a very like an elite offense. Maybe not like 35 points a game at one point, but they could absolutely score like 30 a game, like through a decent stretch. Like their offense should be really good, but straight off of talent, it's probably a B+. Let's look at this defense now, which should be even better. Time for linebackers. All right, looking at this linebacker core. Of course, they were just do run a 4-3 with some weird, funky transition crap, but straight up, I'm just gonna say they run a 4-3, which means they got the defensive line twice. And let's look at the linebackers. Okay, Jamin Sherwood, he's a backup who's gonna start. Yeah. See what he can do. He's actually decent in coverage, but his ability to fill gaps and not give up big runs is definitely leaving a lot to be desired. Of course, he is able to tackle, but his eye discipline is pretty bad. He can't blitz as well, though. Zaire Barnes out of Western Michigan has actually been pretty big of a deal in preseason, making a lot of plays for them. He's just never been known as the most athletic dude. But he's just a kind of, I wouldn't say just a football player like some other guys like Jack Sanborn, for example. But I don't want to say that because he also does have some athletic ability, but he definitely doesn't have the range to simply be like a middle linebacker for sure. CJ Mosley, yeah, big bounce back year past 2 seasons. I mean, after opting out 2020, 2021, he just wasn't very good overall. His coverage was pretty horrendous. Last season, though, a lot better. Was a lot more conservative with the way he played overall, but it did work out a lot better. Yeah, again, didn't maybe force as many turnovers or making as many big plays as you're used to seeing from him, but he was still a very productive player and much better in coverage, which I think was huge for the Jets last season. Can continue to be that play style, he'll be absolutely fine. Nick Vigil, really good backup player. I don't like the fact that he really has never had a season outside of 2019 where he was like I don't even know, a full-time starter, which might sound weird, but like Nick Vigil is like the type of player that if he gets a ton of reps, actually might play well. He's never been like the greatest tackler, which is for a middle linebacker is kind of a big deal, but he's always been decent in coverage. He was I think by a mile the best coverage player in the Bengals team in 2019. The only issue is he got, again, you can talk all about that Lamar Jackson play, but it's more the fact that kind of his run defending season in a nutshell. He just isn't a good tackler, which is a little concerning. But yeah, Nick Vigil does make some plays, just to get definitely a volume tackler because he misses a lot of tackles. Chaz Surratt, why do I think he played for the? Yeah, he did play for the Vikings. He's never really done anything in his career. Yeah, kind of a disappointment so far for a third-round pick. And then, of course, Quincy Williams, who's kind of like probably the most athletic player on this out of all these linebackers. 106 tackles, again, very undisciplined in coverage, but he is pretty good in zone. And which right sounds not zone, but in man, he can shut guys down when he needs to. Quincy Williams is a decent linebacker, but he definitely still has stuff to work on. Peter Tamaba out of Utah, I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of this dude. So the depth definitely leaves a lot to be. It definitely could be better, but at least they have guys who played, I guess. The interior, the overall linebacking core though, is probably the weakest part of this defense. So I'm gonna give this linebacking core a grade. I'll give it a C+. I mean, CJ Mosley's probably like a top 10 linebacker. I'm probably say 10 or 9, one of the two. But outside of that, like, just Jamin Sherwood's probably a backup. I mean, the depth is decent, but I'll give him a B- because I do think Quincy Williams is good. Yeah, B-. This isn't the best linebacking core in the league by any means, but they got two guys who I think are fine. Jamin Sherwood, again, probably a backup, but all these guys could somewhat cover, which is good. So that comes out to about 9, 18, 21 points for the linebacking core. Let's look at this defensive line. All right, regarding not pass rush, looking at this defensive line, okay, it's a very, I don't know, I don't want to say it's a deep group, but it's not as deep as you'd think it would be. John Franklin Myers has been one of the most underrated pass rushers, no, not pass rushers, but overall defenders in the league past 2 seasons. He gets so much unrecognized pressure that isn't on the stat sheet, like even off of like advanced pressures. Like John Franklin Myers on every single play finds a way to either get to the quarterback or affect the play. Like that's what he does. Again, yes, only 5 sacks last season after 6 he had in 2021, but he's not the biggest sack dude. He just figures out ways to make plays. Like that's what John Franklin Myers does. He's a very valuable part of this defense. Honestly, I don't think he's the best player in this defense anymore, but he's definitely the most valuable, which might sound a little weird, but it's true. And then on the other side, you got Carl Lawson, who is their most productive guy to get after the quarterback. Again, after like absolutely blowing out his knee in 2020 and not even playing all in 2021, he was really good last year with 7 sacks. Yes, maybe not as many as he's had in his rookie season, but his athleticism definitely came back towards the end of the season, got really hot. I will say towards the beginning, though, he definitely wasn't as good. But yeah, Carl Lawson is a very good underrated pass rusher. But again, that doesn't do much justice in the run game. Jermaine Johnson will be that though. For sure. Again, very underdeveloped coming out of college. Only 2.5 sacks last year, but he was a pretty big part of that in run defense, and he can set the edge pretty well and get shed blocks. So I think is good. He's also improved with his power game, so he can actually get to the quarterback with a little more juice, which I think is cool. But yeah, Jermaine Johnson, he's coming on into his own. Will McDonald, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, he's looked good in preseason, but he still doesn't have a second move, which pisses me off a little bit. It's a little vulgar, I get that, but like, Will McDonald, I think he could be so much better if he just gets that second move, because he's getting kind of like, I don't know, he uses his hands a little too much, which might sound weird, but like, some of the times I'm like, bro, literally get another move, because he does the same jump cut move every single freaking time. He's relentless though, and he does have good bend, so that's great. But Will McDonald still needs to develop some stuff. Deslin Alexander has just been letting up in preseason. UDF had a pip. He's fighting for his life, and he's doing his job. Oh yeah, my bad. And looking at the rest of this defensive line, because I completely forgot about it. Quentin Williams, top 5 defensive tackle. Again, he had like freaking 12 sacks last season. After 2020, 2021, where he was pretty good. 2022, again, he turned in that first team All-Pro. Like, Quentin Williams is a freaking beast. Alwood's old, but very old actually. But he's still productive, which I don't know how he is, but he is. Like, he's kind of like that nose tackle type player, but he actually, I don't think he'll get as much penetration he's been in the past. He's gotten as that nose tackle position, but he'll definitely playing that 1 tech and 2 eye a little bit more. So yeah, I do think Al Woods is good there. Solomon Thomas, but huge bust with the 49ers. But honestly, last season when he got some snaps with the Jets, he actually was a little, honestly wasn't too bad as a backup. Quinton Jefferson, very just not that great. I don't know what else to say. Like, with the Bills, he was at 1 season out with the Bills, I think was his best season. But he did have 5.5 sacks last season, which I think is pretty cool. He wasn't super consistent, though, with his pressures. I think if he can form more of that, I think he'll be a big part of this defense. And yeah, that's kind of all I got there. Yeah, let's go right to the grade. For this deep defensive line, I'll give him a B. Do I give him an A? I'll give him an A. No, a B+. Because they've got good depth. I'll talk about the passers in a second. But edge rushers, they don't have a truly elite player. And the interior it's good, but again, outside of like Quentin Williams, it's just not insane. They got a good defensive line. I just don't know if it's A tier just yet. I need to see one more season of that, and I'll give them the A tier. Again, it's a deep group, but outside, again, they don't have like 4 dang good, great players. They have like 3, and then Jermaine Johnson, who should be coming along, but they don't have that other interior dude. So I'll give them a B+. Again, probably snubbing them, but I'm okay with it. That comes out to about, what is that, 6, 12, 18 points. Let's look at the pass rush. Alright, from a pure pass rush standpoint, looking at this defensive line, John Franklin Myers is probably going to shoot in as their number 1 because he is the guy who will probably make the most valuable player on this defense. He won't put up the crazy sack numbers, but he'll get a ton of pressure and he'll affect the play every single time. His bend is insane, even when he does, again, he has like 4 moves. If 3 of them run out, he does get to the quarterback one way. So yeah, John Franklin Myers is super relentless. Carl Lawson does feed off that a little. He's definitely more of a speed finesse rusher for sure, but again, has a couple moves. Carl Lawson's also very good. They got a good 1-2 punch. Again, maybe not. John Myers is probably not the best number 1 guy in the league by any means, but he's definitely he serves his purpose. Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald IV. Again, not the greatest depth off the edge, because again they're super young. But I think Jermaine Johnson should be good enough to be a number 3 rotational. Will McDonald will find a way to get a couple sacks. And Deslin Alexander, keep playing the way you do, you will definitely get snaps. Like, he's just been unbelievable. Especially with the Fadia, Odiningbo gonna be on the, yeah, he'll be gone for a little bit. But either way, interior-wise, Quentin Williams, yeah, he'll be getting after the quarterback, he'll be doing his job. Al Woods, though, he can't just be a stone. If he can just, I don't know, move the pocket a little bit, maybe not manipulate it, but just basically move it, that would be pretty big. Solomon Thomas, Quentin Jefferson, fresh legs in there, get some pressure, like, that's what I expect him to do. Quentin Williams is probably, like, the pilot of this pressure. Like, again, when he's eating, John Franklin Myers and Carl Lawson are just feasting. So, yeah, this defensive line, pretty good group overall in terms of the pass rush, but it's definitely just, I think it's good. Now, let's get right into it. I'll give their pass rush an A-. Here's why. John Franklin Myers already said it. He gets pressure on literally every down. And just the fact that, again, Carl Lawson and the other guys are just going to, like, the young dudes are just going to be relentless, I think is huge. But Carl Lawson, he'll get his sacks. And, again, yes, Quentin Quentin Williams is going to be a big part because if he gets hurt, it's not the interior pressure. The pressure passes won't be the same. But when he's on, this is an interior pass rush. It just is. They get to the quarterback every time. One of the most consistent groups in the league. Yes, do they affect the quarterback the most? No. But they get there, which is a big deal. 36, 40 points. Time for the cornerbacks. All right, look at this cornerback from much different than it was 2 years ago. Sauce Gardner, of course. You could say he's the best corner in the league after what was maybe the best cornerback season last season. Yeah, he gets bored out there sometimes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, he has to, like, pay attention, like, catch himself when he makes a mistake because no one's gonna beat him. I think there's probably, like, 3 receivers. Again, outside of that, Stephon Diggs catch he got burned on. He didn't really give any other big plays. And again, he had that one touchdown he gave up. But yeah, Sauce is unbelievable. Like, best rookie corner season ever. DJ Reed, since he had that one, after that one season, again, after 2021 with the Seahawks, I don't know, he's just been like quiet, one of the better corners in the league. I mean, he's been crazy great. Again, definitely is not a press corner, which I think could be a little costly with this team in the long run. But yeah, DJ Reed is a very good corner. He doesn't give up like virtually any big plays. Super big lockdown zone type of dude. He can also make a lot of tackles, which is interesting for his size. DJ Reed's just the dog. I like him a lot. He's a very good corner. The depth definitely could be better. Michael Carter II, not like the running back, is a bona fide just slot. I don't know what to say. He definitely needs to improve on his tackling. He didn't really get much better last season. But as a starter in the slot, he played really well man, shut down a lot of good receivers at the wide position. But also, he just simply never really gets out of position. He can get burned a little bit, but yeah, Michael Carter is a very serviceable slot. Bryce Hall, I'm done with him. He got that one season to start in 2021. He was doo-doo. And did he even play last season? I don't think he did. Yeah, Bryce Hall is not good. Jimmy Moreland, okay backup. Brandon Echols, I don't want to talk about him. He's not bad, though, when he plays. Jimmy Moreland plays for, like, the Commanders and stuff. He's a veteran. He's okay. Yeah, it's definitely not the deepest cornerback from. They really only have 3 dudes, but maybe Bryce Hall can bounce back. So for these cornerbacks, I'll give them probably an A- because the 3 starters are really, really good. And yeah, the depth is not great, but I really could care less. Like, the 1-2 punch is top 5 in the league, and Michael Carter is emerging as a really good slot. So I don't know. I gotta give him the A-. I really like what they're doing there. That comes out to 6, 12, 18, 20 points. So that was cornerbacks. Let's look at the safeties now. Alright, Jordan Whitehead was a very steady part of this defense last season. Yes, is he like gonna be great? No. 2018 and 2019, was he dog crap in coverage? Yes. In 2020, was he a lot better? Yes. 2021, was he even better? Yes. Last season, though, he did dip a little bit into coverage, for sure. He definitely didn't cover the middle of the field as good as I think he would be able to. Again, yeah, he had those 2 interceptions, but he really definitely showed, like, a better ability to stop the run, which I think is a big deal. Because, again, Jordan Whitehead in this system might not have to make as many tackles, which I think is big. If you can get back that coverage, I think is huge. But, yeah, he will have to make some, like, tackles, like, filter the run game. So, yeah. Jordan Whitehead, I think, is a solid safety. Ashton Davis, again, he hasn't really been the same since 2020, where he was, honestly, you could argue the best player on this defense. But 2020, when he got the shot starting, he just struggled a lot. Last season, when he played, again, not the ton, he was decent. Again, decent special teamer, though. And then, of course, you have Adrian Amos, again, the guy they signed. He was dead average last season. 2021, he was a lot better. He makes a ton of tackles. He's not your typical free safety at all. Probably more of a linebacker at this point. Well, not a linebacker, but definitely not the true one high he used to be. But yeah, Adrian Amos, again, older now, but he's still a pretty solid safety. A little bit average. Tony Adams, not the greatest guy to have a backup, but he works. And even Dan Cruikshank, I'm not mad with. Yeah, pretty decent deep safety room. It's not the greatest, but again, that Chuck Clark would definitely be better. I'll give this safety room a B-. Again, I like what they've got going. Adrian Amos, Jordan Whitehead, solid players. Probably like about a C+, B-, fringing on there. The depth is good. I'll give them a B-. It's a good safety room. It's again, you could argue the weakest part of this defense, but then again, it's not really. So yeah, comes out to, what is that, 9, 18, 21 points for the safeties. Let's look at the overall defensive grade. And yeah, their defensive grade actually comes out to about a B, and I'll give them a B+. So here's what I think about this defense. So when you look at it, there isn't a great deal of depth. They've got some deeper part of the teams, and they don't have some deeper part of the teams. First off, the defensive line is really relying on Quinnen Williams to get, like, sacks. Like, not pressure, but sacks. The rest of it, though, again, their identity will be different. But this defense as well, again, they really rely on Quinnen Williams is, like, the stone in the defense. John Myers is the most valuable player because, again, he just makes everyone better. He makes so many big plays. But, again, overall, this defense is really relying on that defensive line. The corners are great. The safeties are decent. But, I don't know. I don't see this team just overall, defense overall, as in an A tier. I mean, probably, yeah. I'll give him an A-. Even though the points don't indicate that, I'll give him the A-. Let's look at the special teams unit now. Of course, Greg's airlines, their kicker, probably cost him a chance to win against the Jets, against the Lions. But outside of that, yeah, he was not great last season. He only 81%, which is not great. But yeah, Greg's airline, again, he's been a kicker in the league a lot. Pretty big leg, not as big as it used to be, but yeah, Greg's airline. Kind of like an average kicker now. Thomas Morstead, I don't know what the heck's up with him. He's probably, what is he, 37 now? He's still a really good punter, but like, yeah. Yeah, I saw that ball playing. Returner Cole Hardman Jr., really fast. He's a good returner. Thomas Hennessy, decent long snapper. Yeah, special teams unit is whatever. Look at the special teams unit. I'll give him a B. No, I'll give him a, yeah, B-. It's a decent group. They make plays. Yeah, B-. Let's go. What is that, 7 points? Yeah, so I'll go for the defensive, what's the special teams unit? Again, they do make plays, their gunners are usually good, but overall, just like, the specialists aren't crazy. So I'll give them 7 points. Time for the overall team depth. Alright, quarterback depth is probably about a, no, it's not a D, I'll give it a D+. Running back depth, A, not an A+, because, yeah, no, A. Wide receiver depth, B-. It's a B-. Yeah, B-. So, what is that? That kind of so far is probably around like C+. Yeah, C+. Tight end depth, C-. So probably like about a C now. Offensive line depth, it's actually pretty good. I'll give it a B-, which probably can boost it up to C+. So offensively, again, it's a little unbalanced, but I'll give it a C+ though. Overall, defensively now, linebacker core depth is probably like about a C. Yeah, it's not what it's okay. Defensive line depth, I'll give it a B. It's good. Pass rush depth, B+. So far, it's probably around, again, like that B. Yeah, no, B-. Cornerback depth, not great. I'll probably give it a D+, which probably brings it down. What I get, C+? No, B-. Probably about a C now. Safety depth is decent, so probably got a C+, which means the Jets' depth is a C+. They've got decent depth on their team. It's not something they have to worry about. They're not going to be the type of team that's going to have, like, oh, God, they've got, like, 4 freaking guys that are at the destroy us. But, like, again, like a factory. But they do have a healthy dose of depth. Like, it's a good group. It's pretty solid. I like what they've got. Again, I don't see no concern. I have little concern for them, like, not being able to get through the season because of injuries. 24 points, though. Time for the identity. Alright, for this Jets team, let's look at their identity. Offensively, Nathaniel Hackett, again, he's kind of a clown, but with Aaron Rodgers, they're going to know what they're going to do. They're going to run the football a lot. Maybe not a lot, but they're going to run football a good amount. Play action's going to be a big part of the offense. Aaron Rodgers on third down is going to be expected to make a lot of big throws, which I think he can. Garrett Wilson's going to be a lot of targets, but again, when he gets doubled up, Allen Lazard's going to be expected to be able to win in one-on-one, which he kind of can, just doesn't create too much separation. And Corey Davis will be looked at once in a while to make a big play when they maybe not need it, but when it like a finishing type of stuff. So yeah, offensively, I'm gonna give their identity a B. Again, it could fall apart a little bit, but I have a pretty good idea what they're gonna do. If the offensive line stinks, though, could be a little, I'll give it a B- because again, the offensive line is a pretty big part of it. Defensively now, it's probably gonna be same old, but again, if their offense just doesn't like possess the ball for long enough, these linebackers can get really stressed because they have to make they're like, I don't know. You think of like a basic defense, you think like, yeah, secondary, the linebackers connect it, but it's more the fact that they need their guys to get to blitz sometimes, especially on third down, because that's really what created such a dominant defense, because they can rely on the secondary to cover, and they can use guys like John Myers to like really like stress this offensive line out, because what are we going to do? Because it really frees up these blitzers, because the blitzers can just come and like literally get a free shot in the quarterback, because they have to account for guys like John Myers and Carl Lawson. So yes, I do indeed think that this defense does need, again, they need their guys to stay healthy, which I think, again, like every team. So I don't know. I'll probably give it like a B+. It's just the fact that, again, these linebackers get really tired because they're on the field a lot, and probably the rest of this defense. I think it could be a little bit of an issue. So B+, but I give them like a B-. Oh, not a B. I've got an idea what they're going to do again with Aaron Rodgers now on this team. Could be a little different. But yeah, B is what I'm going to give them. It comes out to about 15, 30, 40, yeah, 40 points for that overall team identity. Let's look at the Jets' overall roster grade. And for this Jets roster, it comes out to a B+, which... Yup, that fits in perfectly. Again, I gave the defense an A-, the offense a B+. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Their depth is solid. Again, but like most seasons with all the teams, the Jets, they're I don't know. They're in a really tough conference, but the fact they've got decent depth and their overall most of this team is really solid, I think it's a big deal. So yeah, again, Aaron Rodgers is going to be the deciding factor like basically every other quarterback, but yeah, B+, 320 points. They've got a really good roster. One of the better. Yeah. It's arguably a top 10. It's a pretty good roster. 320 points, B+ overall grade for the New York Jets roster. That's all I got here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, see you in the next one. Yeah, you'll probably be able to get it if you watch the outro.
The pitch for Mixon. Mixon finds a hole on the right side and breaks free across the 40 to the 45 and a first down. Mixon, right side, nowhere to go. Comes back the other way to the end zone for the touchdown. What an incredible run. This is 100% Joe Mixon. There is nowhere to go there. 4 Raiders in position to make the tackle here.